Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. This is my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this week, painted a lot of models. I had a guest spark a project, and it led to some bits box diving, and it led to some compulsive, I need to paint a whole bunch of stuff. As you'll see in a minute. I also wrapped up some Bushido stuff for Risen Sun, the new 2-player starter set. You might have seen reviewed. It's actually, you can click up here in the cards and go check out the review for it. But I got it all painted as well. And I got some cool new projects on the go. I'm going to paint up some stuff for Warcry. I need to actually finally paint up my little burbs for for my Vanguard hunters, who are Raptors, sorry, who are actually available in that game. And then I got a brand new project doing some stuff for BFG. I got a Necron fleet to paint. I'm super stoked about this. So let's take a look at what got done, what got painted this week, and what is coming up. So first things first, here is my painted pile for Bushido Risen Sun. So the two sides of the 2-player starter set, we have the cult out of the Edo clan, so the Edo clan stuff where you've got a new Hebi, a new Ashigaru archer, and then a new Shisei, one of the priestesses of the snake cult. And then over here you have a samurai, a Ashigaru, two Ashigaru actually, for the prefecture of Ryu. I based these on some resin bases from my random bits box of 30mm lipped resin bases. And then got to work on some extra Ito stuff. This is stuff that's been in my bits box forever. I'm actually down to 4 miniatures unpainted for Bushido, and that'll be everything I own painted for Bushido. I painted up 2 Okyo Ashigaru, who are the just like regular kind of like line troops for the Ito clan. And they were done up with the Wraithbone base and then a lot of contrast paints. The contrast paints are just, I'm finding, when I did the 10 Thunders with them, they're so great at getting these wonderful saturated colors. They're just perfect for both these things. And Bushido in particular has tons of nice, like, deep detail miniatures for putting together some contrast paint jobs. So I'm really happy with it, and they turned out really nice. And this is Ito Masanagi, who is one of the samurais for the Ito clan too, and one of my favorite miniatures. He's got this like awesome, almost like devil-y sort of like thing. He's got like an Oni kind of like thing going on, which is super cool. These all were done up with contrast paints. So everything here was base coated Wraithbone and then washed with Citadel contrast to give them that nice, rich, saturated colors. And this was the first 9 models I painted this week, and then I got to work on a project for Throwback Thursday. So this happened this week. I went bits box diving about, back at Christmas, like 8 months ago. I discovered a shoebox that was in my old bedroom at my parents' farm that had a whole bunch of just random old 6th edition, 5th edition fantasy stuff, old 40k stuff, just like piles of old things. And I got an email from my buddy Chris, who you may remember from our 6th edition Warhammer Skirmish, a little like episode that we did. It was like a super cool like dungeon crawl where he fought against my my clan Ashen, my Skaven, for Mordheim, who are all like 5th edition Skaven miniatures. And this time around, I want to do something like purpose built to do some skirmish. He's come back to do a skirmish campaign. We're gonna do like a little narrative series, I think. And I wanted to actually do something purpose built for it, as opposed to just like kind of press ganging stuff from my miniature collection that was appropriate. So I just went in my bits box and found every like 6th edition or earlier Beastman model that I had that was in like okay condition. I have a bunch more that are like missing parts. It's like I have some more Bestigors. I have a Bestigor banner and a Bestigor musician, but the musician's like missing his horn, and that's like a big the horn literally is like attached to his mouth, so you can't build a painting without it. But this is what I can scrape together. So this is for 6th edition skirmish. We're gonna do like a special narrative thing. I'm actually probably gonna write some rules for it. So stay tuned to Throwback Thursday, because I think what I'll probably do is write up a bunch of narrative rules, write some scenarios, and then post them up for my patrons. But I painted up a hero. So this is the old Beast Lord. He actually came, like, there's no spot really to put it except for that little loop on his back. He used to have a back banner with like a dude's face all stretched out, but I actually like him just fine without it. This is like a 6th edition Beast Lord mini. Beautiful sculpt. Like, he's just huge and chunky. Like, when you put him next to the other Beastmen, you can tell why he's the Beast Lord, because he's just huge. His buddy, Hergity, the imp. This is like, I guess, a failed Beastman. And then 2 Bestigors. And these are old classic metal. They used to have halberds, and they have great weapons now, but I guess these could have counted as great weapons too. Actually, in 6th they did have great weapons, actually. But originally the Bestigors had halberds, and they're wonderful, old. I think Morrison sculpts. I'm pretty sure these are Trishanelli Morrison. I'm like 80% sure they might be somebody else. The Beastman line was pretty consistent in 5th and 6th edition, so the sculpting was done by a number of different people. And then I've got some Gores here who are like from a variety of eras. This is a really old Beastman miniature. I'm pretty sure he's actually led. He's even my champion for my Gore unit. And then I have just 4 Gores and a banner. Sorry, 3 Gores and a banner, all with shields. And actually what limited me from painting Gores, because I have a few more, is I ran out of these old plastic Chaos shields, and I didn't want to use non-period like shields with them. The banners are awesome because you don't really need to put like a paper banner on it. They've got like enough gubbins kind of hanging off them that they work just by themselves. I didn't really want to do paper banners because I never thought they looked right. So I have 5 Gores and then 6 Ungores, including this like wicked old Realms of Chaos era Beastman that I'm using with my champion. He's actually wearing fur, and he's more like a little devilly imp thing, but he looks awesome as an Ungor champion. And then 3 Ungors with shields. Once again, I have a few extra Ungors, but again, I don't have enough shields. I'm a musician with a spear. Weirdly, in this period, actually, you couldn't give hand weapons to these dudes. They typically had spears, but then the 5th edition guys could have hand weapons. I painted the hand weapon and spear or shield guys, and you use them in Wartime as well. And then they have this awesome banner that has like 3 heads nailed to it. Like literally, there's like giant nails stuck in there. There's an elf head and 2 human heads. They're just like stuck to the top. And these are great, again, great sculpts. And then these are late 6th edition Warhounds, because the 5th edition Warhounds are not nearly as cool as these, and I have a big bag of these. So I painted 3 of them up too to have some Warhounds. And this is, if you take the Wargore in 6th, he's 60 points base, like with his gear he's about 70. And then depending if I give him marks and magic items, he's gonna come at probably around 100. And then the Ungors are 5 points each. You don't really use banners and stuff in skirmish, so they're roughly 30 plus 35, 65, plus 21 is 86, plus 24 is 110, plus the imp, whatever I count the imp as, probably an Ungor. So like 110. So I got about 200 points here to play around and choose from, and I'm also going to paint up a troll. You'll see in my upcoming paint pile that I want to do a troll as well, just have a chaos troll, and I found a period era troll to paint up. So there's what I got done. That's 19 like random Beasts of Chaos miniatures that I really wanted to paint, and so I painted a bunch of them. And this is like a just for me project that I do every now and again, because you know, sometimes it's really good to I don't know, refresh yourself by doing something just cause, like, not because there's any kind of like, not because it's popular, because other people want to play with you, although Chris is super excited about this too, so that helps. But just because it makes you happy. As well as things that makes me happy painting old miniatures and giving them kind of like a new life. So super jazzed about this. There's going to be a 20th miniature, which is the troll, and then some miniatures if I decide I want to go further with this, because I am gonna do some D100 rolling, I think, for this warband. We're gonna use crack the Realms of Chaos books open for the narrative, and maybe even use their injury chart and stuff too. So yeah, so it's 9 plus 19, 28 miniatures this week, which puts me, I don't know, close to 500. I should mention I used a lot of like old school paint styles with this too. It didn't feel right using like a lot of modern like airbrushing and stuff on these, so I did a lot of like dry brushing, washing. They were all assembled, the sand was glued down, and then I airbrushed them with just like a standard brown. Like I used a golden burnt umber, and then like I literally dry brushed all the flash, dry brushed all the hair and stuff, went in panel painted all the metals, gave them like a brown wash. Like I painted them like it was 2000 or 1999, and that was actually really satisfying too, to do like an old school paint job too, because it was, I don't know, it was just relaxing. So I recommend giving that a try. Like, go back and do things the old way sometimes, because it's fun. And here's a few upcoming bits. So first of all, my troll. I haven't given him a name yet, but he's a classic old stone troll. This is definitely a Morrison stone troll. I'm going to paint up in sort of like a chaosy form, and that's going to be my troll for my warband, and that puts me at 20 models. And then these two, the classic Rockin' Out Chaos Sorcerer, and one of my favorite Chaos Champions. This is the Beast Bones, where he's like a weird beast man that's like, his armor's like bones growing out of him. I'll paint these up if I want to do some real Realms of Chaos diving. And you might notice I even dug out square bases for everything, because I just felt like I had to use square bases. It was, if you're going to do it period, you're going to do it period correct. Everything's going to be period correct. And then also for TBT, because Owen is currently working on his Eldar, I was lucky enough to get my hands on a Necron fleet. So just pulling everything out of the box here, it looks like I've got a Karen class tomb ship, two scythes and 2 shroud cruisers. This is, I didn't pull the shroud bits out, no, the scythe bits out, because they come in a whole bunch of pieces, but these are definitely the shrouds. And then jackals and dirges, 4 dirges? Yeah, 4 dirges, the bigger ones, and then 3 jackals, the little ones. Escorts. So I am super stoked about this. Big thanks to the viewer that sent them in. I'm not sure if he wants to be named on camera, but I will say that this will be named the Rage of the Old Ones. No, the Rage of the Necron, I guess. This tomb ship right here. And yeah, this is at least like 1,500 points. This is more than enough to play a whole bunch of games with. So when Owen gets done his Eldar, and I'm going to start working on these for next week, we'll definitely be throwing in a whole bunch more BFG. And then over here, we got some bits and pieces. All I have left, I'm going to paint my 2 ninjas, my 1, he's actually got a name now. He used to just be a prefecture samurai. He's like Takeshi Daio, I think now is his name. Like when you get the card, I gotta find a card for him because I don't have the prefecture deck, so I need to get a second edition card for him because the only second edition cards I have for the prefecture are the ones that came in the starter set. But I have this random miniature because I was actually gonna paint him as the ancestral spirit for the Edo clan, but now I have 3 painted prefecture minis, so I should just keep adding to them. And then I've got Jiyu, who's the banner bearer for the Okyo Ashigaru. You can see I base coated both these already with some contrast paints. They just need to be highlighted and have their bases finished and stuff. And then it's Burbs. I gotta do my Raptors. Sorry, not Raptors. I actually don't know what they're called. The Stormcast birds. They come with the Vanguard Raptors, and they've got a spot in Warcry. So next we'll be playing a bunch of Warcry with the new cards, and I'm gonna try out a bunch of the non Chaos Warbands for the game. And I'm probably gonna do Stormcast. I might also, I don't know, I'm torn. I might also do Daughters of the King because I have some Snake Girls painted. I also might do Idnith. Oh, the Idnith team, they're kind of one-dimensional, but Christian's coming down with his orcs and his goblins, so we're gonna throw some games down for sure on Tuesday, which would be awesome. And there it is. There's the stuff that's coming up. Lots of stuff to do, and lots of projects in the queue. So you got another on the paint table done and on the books. This was, yeah, I'm clipping along. When I get excited about a project like for this Throwback Thursday skirmish thing, it gets out of hand. So I'm actually, these last few miniatures I'm limiting myself to. And then I'll take a break and take a breather and we'll play some games and I'll see if I come back to it and do some more stuff. But doing the first edition Warhammer and the Forces of Fantasy reviews for TBT has kind of got my brain going back over all my old books, looking at my old model collections of all these things that like I've capped or collected that I should be painting at some point, and just finding someone to do like a fun, like Chris is always good for that. Chris is great at kind of sparking ideas. We bounce ideas off each other. Doing these fun little projects with. It's something I'm going to make more of an effort to do on Throwback Thursday because there's so much out there. And there's so much you can do with it now, and like all these resources are floating around, so like if people wanted to mine back and play some old games and just like do it retro, I think there's some value in that. So also of course I'm going to be playing hopefully this weekend some Bushido, which I'm really excited about because I haven't played it in a long time actually, and the edition looks really cool. So when I'm going to throw down first trying out the starter set just to get our brains around it, playing a smaller game, and then with his whatchamacallit, his Cult of Ure, fighting against either my Edo clan or my ninjas, which is going to be super fun. And then of course BFG hopefully next week and more Warcry. So I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you tomorrow for Let's Talk, and until then, I'm Ash. Happy wargaming. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.